Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. My name is Vinny, and today's listing is a SaaS business that's in the SEO, business and information niches. We do these interviews so potential buyers can get more information both about the seller and the business as well to help them make a buying decision. I have the seller with me today, James, and yeah, it's great to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Vinny. Good to be here.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to learning more about the business. It's definitely in an interesting niche, or several niches, and really looking forward to hearing how it all works. But let me just give our listeners a brief summary about it. So the SaaS and affiliate business is in the business, SEO and information niches, and it was created in October 2010. The average monthly revenue for the business is $4,067, and it makes an average of $2,782 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale, the domain and all the site's contents and files, 2 additional domains that serve as 301 redirects, a database server, a thesaurus server, a Windows API server, code projects, the desktop software, a license server, a Rackspace account and servers, a Stripe account, a Thrivecart account, an email list with 37,000 subscribers that's hosted on ActiveCampaign, a stunning.co account, and several social media accounts. You can head over to empireflippers.com and search for listing 48962 to learn more about the business. And if you want to start your due diligence, please remember to unlock the listing first. Right, so that's just a very general overview about the business. Let's find out about yourself, James. I mean, how did you get into building or running online businesses?
I always joke that I just got sick of working with and for people that I didn't like working with and for. And
Sure.
At some point, we created a software product just because me and my business partner knew how to code basically from our day job. And we thought, we could enter this SEO market because at the time we were doing a lot of trying to build. Back in the days when you were building like AdSense websites, that everyone was kind of doing that. Yeah, we thought that there were a few products in that space that we could do a better job to assist people that were doing the same thing as us, like creating lots of websites.
Right, gotcha, makes sense. What is your day job, just out of interest?
I was a control systems engineer, but
Gotcha.
I quit that years ago now.
Okay, and then you got into the humdrum of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, the roller coaster.
That's awesome. I mean, I guess while you were, it sounds like you obviously developed the skill set in programming, coding and stuff, hence the control software engineer. But while you were learning, as you were learning to become an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, were there any resources that you really leaned on and just helped you skill up? It could be certain courses or communities or YouTubers or just anything like that helped you build SaaS businesses.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been lots and lots of bits and pieces, I wouldn't say there's been any one major thing. So, I know James Schramko's community, Superfast Business, has been pretty good. That kind of got me into the whole idea of, like, what would you say, just hanging out with people in real life, because I'd always run this business from just my house, and never really got out much. So that was my first foray. And James Schramko has got a lot of good info. And more recently, I joined Dynamite Circle. So actually going to DC events in Bangkok and whatever, just meeting people, I think trumps any information that I've learned online, because you talk to people, you get in masterminds, and you just over beers at like a bar in Bangkok, you're talking business, and that's where I reckon I've learned the best stuff.
I think you touched on something really important there, because I think when people start off with online businesses, usually for the similar reasons that you're saying, like they just don't want to work for anyone else anymore. They want to be their own boss and work from anywhere in the world. I think quickly one of the issues is that they discover is actually the need to continue connecting with people and learning from others in similar and also different spaces, and like you say, just interacting with each other and maintaining that network. So that's definitely a super important tip that you share there, for sure. So obviously that's your background in starting off, but how did you come up with the idea specifically to start this one? I actually think you sort of hinted at it just now. You were saying about AdSense sites at the time, they were all the rage. And then it kind of sounded like you found that you could basically do something even better than what everyone else was doing at the time.
Yeah, like we were using some software products, basically direct competitors with what we ended up creating. And we just thought they sucked, every single one of them. So we built it. That's really all it was. We thought we could do a better job, so we built it, and we ended up kind of creating an arms race in that industry for a while. Like every time we created a new feature, we'd be like first to it, like something kind of inventive and new. Like, I think we were using machine learning based libraries way before that was cool. And then suddenly, 6 months later, every other tool claims they had the same kind of tech in it, right? So it's interesting. Yeah, but that's how it all started.
For sure. That makes sense. How does the business primarily make money?
Straight up subscription for the software, right? So people just pay a monthly or yearly fee. So there is two components to it. So you said SaaS. It's not a true SaaS. Like part of it is, it's kind of hybrid. There's desktop software, Windows based is the primary component, but then there's also an API. It's literally just an API. Like there's no web app or anything. So a lot of people use our API just by itself without even the desktop software. So yeah, it's just they pay subscription to one or the other or both. That's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I guess like as with all SaaS businesses, yeah, subscription is the way to go. The business is doing quite well. It's profitable and it's maintained steady growth, especially over the years. It's quite a mature business, over 10 years ago, basically. But why are you selling the business right now instead of staying with it and growing it?
Yeah, it really just comes down to headspace. Like most entrepreneurs, I've always tried to do too many things. Yeah, classic shiny object syndrome. And, at one point, my bookkeeper wrote a blog post about us and listed out all the different businesses we were doing. And when I looked at that list, I was like, man, I'm an idiot. I'm doing too many things. So that's kind of what's kicked off a lot of this, trimming. We've just trying to cut back on what we do to really focus on we've got another software product now in a totally different industry because we just like building stuff, we like building products and solving problems. So now our focus is there. And even though this product doesn't require like almost any of my time, it's still just in my mind, and that's literally it. I just kind of just want to move on and let someone else take the reins and actually, put some love into it.
For sure, and I hope that like you say, the right person comes along and takes it off your hands to continue scaling it. Let's just dig into a bit more about the business then. So while you were trying to scale it, was there anything that you learned that you probably apply to future businesses or sites? Like, were there any strategies that just really worked for you?
Yeah, I mean, SEO is what I love, man. Like if you can build, and get found for keywords, people listening to this podcast are no stranger, I'm sure, but like, I don't think there's any channel that I love as much as that. If you can have something like that's why it's still, churning along, it's and with no work. It's those keywords that we've ranked for a long time, and like people find us through that and various recommendations over the years on like lots of online forums in the SEO space. So, people find us directly through our brand name, and that just keeps happening. I think people like there's like affiliate stuff as well. So we have an affiliate program and people write about our product, so just all these channels that just keep operating with so little input from us. That's kind of what I've taken and applied to pretty much every other business I've run.
For sure. I guess on the flip side, was there anything that you tried that didn't really give you the ROI that you were hoping for?
Yeah, well, that feature war that I was mentioning before, like me and my business partner are engineers, so we always thought we had to have more features and build this next thing and build this next thing. And I don't think that's the case, like we are doing it with our current business because we're growing it. But like the software that we're talking about here is like, we haven't added a new serious feature to that in several years, and it just keeps going. I think we're going to do a release pretty soon just with a couple of small updates. But, like that always thinking you have to build new stuff isn't actually true. That's probably the biggest mistake I think we made.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. You were mentioning about SEO being, a much loved marketing channel. So it kind of sounds like for marketing, it basically sort of runs itself really. Like a lot of it is just inbound and organic, or is there any paid advertising aspect to that?
No, I mean, it's fairly to make paid ads work, I think you need a fairly a higher value offer, and this is it's like a medium value subscription, I guess. We were never able to make ads work. That said, I'm not exactly an ads guru, and it was me trying to do it. So it could just be completely rubbish and someone that knows what they're doing might have a great time with it, and I guess I'm not sure if you were going to ask about future potential of the business, but I actually think someone taking it over could switch it over to a lifetime deal and make a ton of money that way, because we used to have a lifetime deal a long time ago. Most of those people have left now, but we would get 2+ years of revenue from a lifetime deal that when people would only last 1 year typically, right? So they're paying more just because it's not a subscription, so I think that's a real opportunity for whoever takes this over. And, then I think you could potentially make ads work. I know that's a long answer to what you asked, but yeah, I think ads are a potential. They haven't worked for us in the past, but yeah, SEO and just brand has been the two big things in the past.
No, for sure. And we'll dive into the opportunities in just a second, for sure. I guess you were saying it's quite hands-off. Can you sort of describe the type of work that you do to maintain the business on maybe a day-to-day or even a weekly basis?
So it is actually less than weekly at the moment. So I have a VA who handles most of the support requests, and I literally answered one ticket this morning, and I think that's the first time I've had to do it in probably 2 weeks. Occasionally I might get in there and I think the last major code that I wrote was to switch the billing system when we moved from PayPal a long time ago to Thrivecart. I had to write some code to do that. That's kind of been the main thing I've done. But outside of that, I don't really have to get into the code anymore. Yeah. So day to day, it's really just, occasional answering tickets. And I might sometimes get involved in getting a link here or there, because we have some link building activities going for our other businesses. And every so often I just want to inject one to this business. So to try and, I guess, maintain some of that SEO value.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So again, it sounds like it's, not too much work. I was just asking, actually, is a developer required to maintain the business?
Look, it's not required, but I think it would be handy to have one available because, I don't know, just in case something goes wrong. Something hasn't gone wrong in a very long time. But, I think any technical business, you kind of do want to have, any software business, you do want someone there that could help you. But not regularly at all.
Gotcha. I guess just as an extension of that then, you were mentioning about opportunities to scale the business. I mean, if you did stay with the business, how would you try to grow it?
Yeah, there's two different ways. So like I said earlier, there's an API component and a desktop software component. I think, the way things are going now, I try to create a completely SaaS version of it. We actually have a bit of a spec written up on how we do that. We did that simply for whoever buys this. We don't really want to we thought about doing it ourselves, but again, it's just more of a distraction from what we're currently doing. So yeah, I think that would be one part, is actually rebuilding it into a SaaS product. So it's completely online, get rid of that desktop component. I mean, maybe leave that desktop component and create a lifetime deal for it or something. Because I think the way lifetime deals sell is just insane. Like I said, we can charge a lot more than 2 years worth of a plan, and people buy it on lifetime. So I think if someone just kind of made a few tweaks to how it works and sold it as a one-off product, I think they could get payback really quick.
Yeah, and I guess sort of blends into what you were saying just there about having the developer on board or having the developer skill set really to, like you say, make it fully SaaS and fully online. Cool. Obviously businesses have risks, inherent risks with them anyway. I mean, what would you say are some of the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
I'd say just, I guess, the SEO industry, it changes a lot. So that's really it. I don't know how relevant things are going to be, something that works now, is it going to work in the future? That's probably it. Anyone who's been in SEO knows that things change, and I'd say that's the biggest risk.
Gotcha. Okay. Last few questions really from me here, James. How much support are you offering buyers?
Oh, I can't remember what I said to that question, but I know we're happy to include our VA, obviously at hourly rates, to whoever takes it on, so she can keep handling support unless they want to do it themselves. And if they do need code, like small code changes, we can do it as well. Like, me and my business partner could probably get in there and make some small edits. And I think it's a month of, I don't know, you can probably tell me what we wrote down.
Yeah, I think it's noted here at least 30 days of email support and up to 3 video calls. And yeah, as you mentioned, even potentially having additional post-sale support for coding if it's necessary.
For sure.
Yeah, okay, great to hear. Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yes.
Fantastic. And are you open to seller financing, like just negotiating something like an earn-out?
Yeah, look, potentially. It's definitely not ideal for us. Like I've said, the main reason we want to offload this business is because we want focus and we kind of just want it out of our mental space. And I think like earnouts are against that principle. So we definitely prefer, like cash.
Okay, that's great to hear. Last question really from me then. If you put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why would you say that this is a business that's worth buying?
I honestly think it'd be fairly simple to get the money back, like pay back the investment using a lifetime deal, and then you can do whatever else with, once you've paid it back, then it's all cream, right? I can say the only reason we have not run a lifetime deal in years now is because if we sold it, that would be a negative. So a big part of me is just like, God, I wish we could just run a lifetime deal. And I think that would, with that email list and how well it converts, I think you'd easily hit ROI quickly.
Yeah, I did notice that's an absolutely huge mailing list that you've got there. So for sure, that definitely can be leveraged. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that you think I might have missed?
No, I think that was pretty comprehensive.
Fantastic. Well, James, thanks for joining me in today's episode. I hope that your business gets picked up by the right buyer in the near future.
Thanks, Vinny.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 48962. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked the listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about the business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.